What's up, guys? There you go.
Thank you very much.
Listen, I know you guys said you needed it fast.
Yeah.
This was as fast as we could get it here.
I appreciate that.
That, you know, they came and they said, listen, we need some help. We want to make this car the most extraordinary wide body Bugatti Chiron that the world has ever seen. And so I said, listen, I got a guy, I'm going to call him, you know his name, Adrian, and we're going to see what he can do. So we're going to bring them in. I think we can do something amazing, like just amazing. They want to do this project. They want to do it with us. They're super excited. They love the brand. They love VENUUM. And they want to see if we can build a wide body kit for their Chiron Pure Sport.
This is more crazy than the last time. The last.
Matt, what's up, brother?
We're good, we're good.
Okay, so Adrian, I want you to finally meet Alice Gonzalez, Matt Armstrong. I know that you've heard about these guys.
I follow these guys.
I know you know about this car. It's very famous. And these guys want to do something crazy with us. A wide body kit, as I told you. You're the designer, you're the brain. You need to make something that's literally going to shock and awe the world from VENUUM. And these guys are super pumped. They don't want anyone else to do it. So we're going to hand this project to you. I hope you can crush it for us.
Yes, for sure. It's the second call.
The Bugatti Chiron rebuild that was never supposed to happen is almost finished. After years of proving the doubters wrong, after sourcing impossible parts, after rebuilding systems that most workshops wouldn't dare touch, Matt Armstrong is standing right at the finish line, and a single piece of glass is the only thing stopping him from crossing it. That's not a joke. Not the engine. Not the transmission. Not the suspension geometry or the carbon fiber monocoque or any of the hundreds of complex systems that make the Chiron one of the most advanced machines ever put on four wheels. A windshield. And the small pane of glass above the driver's seat. Those two components are what now stand between Matt and completing one of the most ambitious independent hypercar rebuilds ever attempted. Here's what Matt said in his latest update.
News on the purple Bugatti Chiron. So, I did say in the previous video there wasn't going to be a new video on that for a while until we make the body panels. The body panels have been made, which is sick, but we still need somebody to make the windshield and the little glass above the driver's seat. So if you're that guy, all my US guys, Miami guys, whatever, let me know. Or maybe even if you're in Europe or the UK and you can travel or could do it by not being there somehow, let me know. We need to get that windshield done. We want to do the top speed run, but we can't do it without a windshield. Let me know, message me in my DMs. We can get this windshield built.
If you've followed this project from the start, you'll know exactly why that update carries so much weight. And if you're new here, you need to understand what it took just to get to this point. When Matt first acquired the wrecked Chiron, the reaction from most of the automotive world was simple: walk away. This wasn't a lightly damaged supercar with a few bent panels and a cracked bumper. The car had suffered serious structural damage. It was the kind of damage that insurance companies write off without a second thought, the kind that manufacturers quietly suggest is beyond economic repair. The assumption, from critics, from enthusiasts, from people who work in this industry, was that a damaged Chiron without Bugatti's direct involvement was essentially a parts car waiting to be stripped. Matt didn't agree. What followed was methodical, relentless work. Every time a major obstacle appeared, he found a way around it. Parts that couldn't be ordered through conventional channels were tracked down through specialist networks. Components that seemed too complex to repair were handed to engineers capable of rebuilding them. When costs climbed higher than expected, the project kept moving anyway. Slowly, the Chiron began to come back. None of it was easy, none of it was cheap, but every step forward was a direct challenge to the idea that only Bugatti can fix a Bugatti. And that challenge has been building towards something significant, because if Matt can complete this rebuild independently, it reframes the entire conversation around hypercar ownership, repair, and manufacturer dependency. Now, the body panels are done. That alone deserves a moment of recognition, because reproducing body panels for a Bugatti Chiron outside of the factory is not a straightforward task. The shapes are complex. The tolerances are tight. The finish has to be correct. getting those panels made is the kind of achievement that most people underestimated at the start of this project, and they're done. That means the project is closer to completion than it has ever been. The finish line isn't a distant concept anymore. It's right there, which is exactly why this latest obstacle is so striking. Because of all the challenges Matt has faced across this entire rebuild, the one that now has the project paused isn't a mechanical system or a structural component. It's glass. And here's why that matters. Most people hear the word windshield and assume it's a simple problem. Glass is glass. Find the right shape, order it from a supplier, fit it, move on. That logic works for most vehicles. It does not work for a Bugatti Chiron. This isn't ordinary automotive glass. The Chiron's windshield is engineered specifically to function at speeds that most road cars were never designed to reach. At those velocities, the forces acting on every part of the vehicle, including the glass, are extreme. That means the windshield isn't just a piece of curved glass with the right dimensions. It has to meet precise optical standards so there's no distortion at high speed. It has to carry the correct structural properties to handle aerodynamic load. The curvature has to be exact, not approximate. The fit has to be perfect, because the Chiron was built around tolerances that leave almost no margin for error. A windshield that's slightly off in any one of those areas doesn't just look wrong. It causes wind noise. It can leak. It can distort the driver's vision. In a car being prepared for a top-speed run, those aren't cosmetic problems. They're safety concerns. That's why this isn't a sourcing challenge. Matt isn't asking where he can buy a replacement Chiron windshield. He's asking whether anyone in the world can manufacture one from scratch. That's a fundamentally different problem, and the fact that he's had to cast the net this wide, reaching out publicly across the UK, Europe, and the United States, tells you everything you need to know about how specialized this task really is. If there were 10 companies capable of making this glass, Matt would have found one already. The fact that he's appealing to the broader community suggests the number of people with the knowledge, equipment, and experience to do this correctly is very small. And that's what makes this moment so fascinating, because this is genuinely one of the most specialized manufacturing challenges the entire rebuild has produced. Think about what it actually takes to manufacture a windshield like this. First, the geometry has to be captured precisely. The original glass, or whatever reference can be used in its absence, has to be measured and modeled accurately. Then the manufacturing process itself has to produce a piece of glass that matches those measurements with minimal deviation, bent and formed in exactly the right compound curves. Then the optical quality has to be verified, because glass that looks fine at normal speeds can introduce distortion that becomes disorienting at high speed. And finally, the fit into the car's aperture has to be correct, because a windshield that doesn't seal properly creates noise, water ingress, and structural issues. Every one of those stages requires expertise. Combined, in a vehicle like the Chiron, they require a level of specialization that simply doesn't exist in most glass shops. This is not a job for a general automotive glazing company. This is a job for someone with experience in low volume, high performance, precision glass manufacturing, and those people are rare. That's why this moment matters beyond just the Chiron project. Because what Matt is experiencing right now is a very clear illustration of where manufacturer dependency actually lives. For years, the argument against independent hypercar repair has been broad. The assumption that everything about these vehicles requires factory involvement. Matt has spent years dismantling that argument, component by component. Engines, suspension, bodywork, electronics, carbon fiber. He's tackled all of it. And he's proven that solutions exist outside the manufacturer's network. But glass manufacturing is a reminder that the dependency doesn't disappear entirely. It shifts. Some components genuinely do require a level of specialization that's difficult to access independently, not because the knowledge doesn't exist somewhere in the world, but because it exists in very few places, and finding the right person is a project in itself. The good news is that Matt is clearly confident the right person is out there. He's not treating this as a dead end. He's treating it as a search, an open call to anyone with the capability to help finish something remarkable. And the rebuild is remarkable. Whatever you think about the economics of independent hypercar repair, Whatever you think about the wisdom of buying a wrecked Chiron in the first place, the reality is that this car is almost done. A vehicle that most of the industry wrote off is approaching completion, rebuilt by an independent team without factory support. The body panels are on. The systems are in order. The only things missing are 2 pieces of glass. When those pieces arrive, and based on everything Matt has shown throughout this project, they will arrive. The Chiron will be ready. Ready to drive. Ready to be tested. Ready for the top speed run that Matt has been building towards since the very beginning. That run will be the proof of concept for everything this rebuild represents. Not just that the car can move under its own power, but that it can perform. That it can reach the kind of speeds it was designed for. That it was rebuilt correctly, by people who knew what they were doing, without the manufacturer holding their hand at every step. That's what's on the line here. And right now, all of it is waiting on a windshield. If you know someone who can make it happen, reach out to Matt. Because the finish line is right there, and the Chiron deserves to cross it.